Today was a tragedy what happened to Charlie Kirk. And listen, was it the mind or was it the gun? So I'm going to break this down. So listen, I'm just going to tell you straight up the point that I am going to break down. It was not the gun, okay? It was the mind. So just like the transvestite that went and shot up all the kids, what we are looking at is we are seeing weak minds being emotionally manipulated. So they're being emotionally manipulated into doing things that, right down to here, boom, that feed into agendas that are currently existing in behind the scenes. So other people have other interests relating to profits. We're going to politics, power. So what happened is the shooter is being exposed to information. So you are the product of the information that you choose to expose yourself to. And confirmation bias is when we seek information that validates an existing belief, whether it is or isn't correct or not. And so we love what's familiar. We love to be around people that validate us, tell us we're right, agree with us, have the same kinds of beliefs as us, see the world the same way as us, and we end up blocking out anything alternative. And we become what we call extremists. So what this does is it creates an extremist. So confirmation bias creates like extremist actions, okay? Discussing different things and hitting on both sides is a completely different ballgame than being extremist in your actions. But how do you become extremist with your actions? Well, it starts with the information, okay? And then it starts with the places that you go, okay? And then it starts with the people that you hang around with and you communicate with, which is also going to be in the digital. So like, where are you at online? What kind of digital conversations? Who do you follow? Like, what is the narrative? Like, how is that making you feel? Are you filling your cup with negativity or are you filling your cup with positivity? Like, where do you fall on the spectrum of where your focus is going? And so basically this shooter is what we called in prison a torpedo, okay? He's a torpedo. And what happens in prison is the smart people, they find the dumb people and they convince them to go and do things for them. And then the torpedo goes out and does something violent or has to go handle some business or go do something and they take the fall, okay? And then what happens? The person with the agenda, okay, the person who's seeking profit, power, politics, so prison politics, it serves their best interest. It allows them to take a narrative. It allows them to draw the line, make a point, make a stand without having to have paid the price for making that point, making that stand, like whatever the ulterior motive is. And so this shooter, what he did wrong is he was going to the wrong places with the wrong people, and he didn't have proper filters on how, these are probabilities, okay? Everywhere you go is a probability of the people, the information, and the habits, and the influences, and the associations, and the triggers associated to that impact the way you think, how you think, the ideas you have, the decisions you make, what your belief systems are built upon, and that all started out as a child. So this dude's entire, him becoming a shooter, it's actually rooted in his childhood self. That's where it started, okay? And basically, he's just become a product of other people's agendas, intentions of society over the last however many years. The dude looked like he was 60 years old. So this dude had a weak mind. And because of the information that he had coming in, and because of the people that he was hanging around with, and because of the places that he was going, and because of the confirmation bias that was in all of that, and because of the lack of education on how these things were influencing him, he took an extreme action. And he went all the way over here, and next thing you know, the person who actually wants to leverage this atrocity, this tragedy, is getting away scot-free, and they have their own little meeting right now happening on how they're going to leverage this and they're going to use this. So the people that you talk with and the confirmations and the information and the biases that we are constantly seeking confirmation of will impact our actions like this. And so it's not the gun that's the problem. It's the weak mind. It's the shooter. He's a torpedo. Mass programming, okay? Mass programming. So he is a victim of mass programming without critical thinking skills and the ability to understand and see beyond the surface of what is being presented to him. And that, my friends, is the ultimate problem, and that is what we call a sheep. So this man was what we will reference as a sheep. So what is a sheep? A sheep is someone who is easily influenced, does not have critical thinking skills, is not willing to defy the odds or defy the consensus, and is emotionally manipulated into taking extreme actions and believing extreme things without any logic or analytical understanding behind what they believe. So it's just like fact checking. Okay, they don't go fact check. Okay, I'm just saying, like, there's just a whole bunch of different gaps missing in there. So that's my quick little brief breakdown of the shooter. I'm just telling you this: ever since he was a kid, he's been programmed to be a sheep. Okay, this man has been programmed to be a sheep, and the gun's not the problem. Okay. Gun's not the problem, because if you give the gun to someone else, are they going to go shoot Charlie Kirk? No. Okay, so if you give two people who are not the same person the weapon, and the weapon doesn't fire off and kill someone, the gun can't be the problem. So let's go to the next option. Oh, it's the person behind the gun. Okay, cool. Well, now it's like psychologically profile that person. And then this is what we're going to find right here, is they are the product of all of this right here. And so this is super surface level, super simple. I just wanted to make this because I'm creating a bunch of content on this and launching course and programs for coaching and just different, understandings and comprehensions of your own life. So like this childhood self right here is where all your problems are rooted in. Okay, that's where your low self-worth, your money, your relationship to money started. So if you got poverty mindset or abundance mindset or wealth mindset or scarcity mindset, it all started here. This is where your religious beliefs started. This is where the teacher told you were stupid, you couldn't do something, so you didn't go do it. And then you just built your whole identity on the top of that. And so all of this right here, the people, the places, the things, you are constantly influenced by. And if you're not aware and conscientious, you just might end up grabbing a gun and going and shooting Charlie Kirk. And the dude's literally just a torpedo. He was a torpedo. He was used and abused. His life doesn't matter. Just like the trans person. What do these people have in common? Weak minds. It's not the guns. It's the weak minds. So let me know your thoughts. God bless.